This is the chat room. We just celebrated our 10th year on the air on Channel 20 here in Newton County, now seen on local television for 10 years. So we're glad you're here. Kevin Johnson, welcome back to the program.
Good to see you again. Absolutely.
You was back on at the late spring, early summer period. Fire science program instructor at DeKalb Technical College. Kevin, give our viewers a brief overview of the Fire Academy at DeKalb Tech.
It's a relatively new program, and it's really pretty unique, at least in this area. Part of it is to take students, male, females, that want to get into public safety work, firefighting, rescue, eventually into emergency medical services, take them and put them in a foundation class that gives them the certifications to actually go out and be employable, go right into a fire or rescue department.
How many students do you have in there currently?
It's kind of a dual program. We've got a firefighter training program that has 11 students in it, and that's the hands-on part. And kind of in conjunction to that is an associate's program. And there's about 20 students in that. So people that are going through firefighter programs or have already completed working in the industry can actually go back and get an associate's degree, which really helps in promotion time and just all the information that's out there. So it's an associate's program as well as the class itself.
All right, now what kind of jobs can they expect to get? When, where, or it's just a mumble-jumble thing as far as the hiring?
The training, the firefighter certification actually lets you go out and be job ready in anywhere throughout the state that you go. Once you take the state test, it lets you go into the job market. Any of the large fire departments, even the smaller fire departments, you walk in, I have my credentials, you're pretty much job ready. And one of the beauties about working for a lot of the fire services is that while you work long hours, there's a lot of off time. You may work 9, 10 shifts a month, 24 hours in length, and that gives you a lot of off time for family and other things that are going on. But you can go right from the training program right into the job market.
Now, the good thing about that is the off time, like you were saying, but then on the other hand, and it's still a good thing, if you've worked 24 hours straight and had 2 or 3 calls, and you've got smoke all over you and everything, and
right.
it may take that first of those 2 days off to catch up.
Right. And the busier you are throughout your 24-hour shifts, the longer part of those 2 days you're going to need to recover. And that's a benefit of it, that while you work long hours, you're off more by the hour. But you do need a lot of downtime. Being up 24 hours, being creative, being thinking, being put in stressful situations, physically exerting situations that just drain every bit of energy. So you do need to be able to get that rest, that mental recovery. And a lot of folks with families and other activities that they do, you go for a 24-hour shift and then you have to convert back to a day-night person with
right.
the rest of the family, and then you convert back to your third day on a 24-hour shift. So it's working a lot, but it's also off a lot. So
right.
it's kind of that industry benefit for us.
Kind of a balance there.
Right.
What about salary range? What can someone graduating from this program expect salary-wise?
It's hard to kind of keep up with the market. Part of that is that we can look at salary is just part of that package. When you get into a lot of the fire departments, especially in the larger fire departments, the benefit package is huge. A lot of insurance packages, a lot of retirement packages are as critical to longevity as the actual pay. And so as you get into the market, pensions are huge.
Oh, gosh, yes.
So, you talk about somebody who does 20, 30 years of rescue work, and then you decide to retire, that pension is going to be there. And so the pay is good, the hours are long and difficult, but at the end of a good, productive career, you look back and go, wow, that all kind of came together. So the salaries vary, depends on the department. Some are smaller, some of the larger departments have a lot more benefit package, but the demand is huge as well.
No doubt about it. Kevin Johnson, a fire science program instructor at DeKalb Tech, and he'll be on next segment to talk more about what he does and what the department does and what the classes are about. This is the chat room, seen every weekday night at 8 o'clock right here on Channel 20. We'll be back. Welcome back to the chat room. My guest this segment is Kevin Johnson, who's an instructor at DeKalb Tech in the Fire Services program over there. Kevin, tell us a little bit about the training a firefighter goes through.
A lot of the beginning actually is going to be the book work, the learning the equipment, the techniques, a lot of the foundation in the history and heritage of the fire services. But it really pretty much picks up to going from the classroom book study is a really good mix of hands-on. Almost every class time, we're out working with fire trucks, the equipment, pulling hose, learning hazardous materials, how to, block off a spill that's leaking down the street and use those different tools that are on your truck. So it's all book work throughout because it's more and more extensive than in the earlier years. But everything now is really pretty much hands-on. And so it's a 2-semester program. It's pretty well packed full curriculum, and that's to get you ready to take the state test. You have to get out of the college program first. At the college, you get that passed, and then you go right to take the state test.
All right, what requirements are there to be in the program to start with?
The college, in an effort to try to find everybody's background foundation, you generally pass take a compass test, which is like a reading, writing, basic math skills, all the tools that you'll need to master to be able to get in, because there's always studying, there's always reading, there's writing papers, there's doing research on techniques in firefighting, and so all that kind of assesses your background, your high school or some college activity you had. The school gets an idea, and then once you're in the program, they offer you tutors if you need some help in certain subjects, some study habits, study techniques. So it's full-fledged learning. It's really pretty fast-paced. So, but to get in, it's pretty much just take the compass test and apply through the college.
All right, now physical health. I mean, I used to work right off the square here in Covington, and you'd see policemen out jogging and firefighters.
Absolutely.
What kind of physical health do you have to be in to be a firefighter?
It's very demanding, and not just the length of an operation that may be going on, but the physical stress. The gear alone weighs 50, 60 pounds. That's your protective clothing, your helmet, your boots, your air pack, all the things that you're going to need, one, to protect yourself, which in turn allows us to go protect and help others. Just the routine demand of that equipment is huge. Physical training is always encouraged. We do some every day of class. We do some PT, some physical training. So even in the classroom setting, we're out push-ups, sit-ups, running, jumping. We put our gear on. We walk up and down the halls. So each individual student learns what that protective gear is about. So really pretty much from the first day, physical training all throughout the program. And it gets harder and longer and deeper the entire program. So, but again, physical fitness is eating, exercising, mental health, taking your downtime and enjoying it. And so all that kind of wraps up to try to beat the stress of the job.
All right, let's talk a little bit about cross-training with the firefighter / EMT
Right.
part of that.
The way it's set up or evolved over years is that the EMT is pretty much has to be part of that. They're broken in training, firefighter program and certification, and the EMT program. Traditionally, right now, about 75% of every call the fire department answers is a medical call. And so that is absolutely part of the entire package. So the EMT training and even the paramedic training, which comes after that, which is the next level up of cardiology and medications and stuff, is important. But those two really, in today's market, are hand in hand.
Yeah.
Especially because the call volume is most of the time when the truck leaves the station, it's on a medical call.
Yeah. I don't want to be unfair to you and ask you another question because we only got about 20 or 30 seconds. So I appreciate you coming on.
Good to come out. Good
Yeah.
to come out. It's a good program. It's a good opportunity. It's a great career. I'm coming up on my 30th year, and I'm just getting warmed up. So it's a great place to be.
Oh, yeah. And you have that feeling of self-satisfaction being a firefighter or EMT or whatever,
Right.
because you're out there helping people, and that's a big plus. But
And a
anyway.
lot of information on the DeKalbTech.edu website. So that's out there, and it's a great program.
Kevin Johnson, instructor with DeKalb Tech with the Fire Services program. We're going to have a couple of young ladies on from the Horse Park, International Horse Park over in Conyers, coming up in a few seconds. Stay with us.